The quaint little ice cream parlor stood at the edge of town, its pastel hues inviting children and adults alike. Frosty Delights, they called it, and it was known for its unique flavors: blackberry nightmare, minty abyss, and the infamous blood orange sorbet. But beneath the cheerful facade lay a chilling secret. "Try the blood orange sorbet," the old woman whispered to young Timmy. Her eyes held a hint of madness, and her gnarled fingers pointed toward the darkest corner of the parlor. Timmy hesitated, but curiosity got the better of him. He ordered a scoop, and as the icy sweetness touched his tongue, he felt a shiver crawl down his spine. The flavor was unlike anything he'd ever tasted: tangy, metallic, and utterly unsettling. That night, Timmy dreamt of blood-soaked oranges and anguished screams. The townspeople noticed something odd. Those who indulged in Frosty Delights began to change. Their skin turned pale, their eyes hollow. They walked the streets like frozen statues, their smiles fixed in perpetual delight. The parlor owner, Mrs. Wren, reveled in their transformation. She had made a pact with an ancient spirit, the ice cream reaper. In exchange for souls, she would serve the most addictive ice cream in existence. One moonless night, Sarah, the mayor's daughter, entered Frosty Delights. She ordered a double scoop of Blackberry Nightmare. As she licked the cone, her eyes widened. The world blurred, and she glimpsed the reaper, a shadowy figure with frost-kissed skin. "Your soul is mine," the reaper whispered, and Sarah's heart froze. She stumbled out of the parlor, her life force draining away. Desperate to save their loved ones, a group of brave souls confronted Mrs. Wren. They stormed Frosty Delights, armed with crosses and garlic. But the parlor had transformed. The walls oozed strawberry syrup, and the air smelled of decay. Mrs. Wren cackled, scooping out the minty abyss. "One lick, and you'll join my frozen army." The leader, Father Donovan, raised his crucifix. "We'll stop you." But as he licked the ice cream, his eyes glazed over. He joined the ranks of the frozen, forever trapped in a sugary nightmare. Frosty Delights closed its doors, but the legend persisted. Locals whispered about the cursed ice cream, and children dared each other to lick the parlor's windows. Mrs. Wren vanished, leaving behind only a frosty handprint on the counter. Some say she became the new ice cream reaper, luring unsuspecting souls into her sweet trap. And so, if you ever visit Frosty Delights, beware the flavors that beckon. For behind the pastel hues lies a bone-chilling secret, a taste of eternity, served one lick at a time. In the quiet town of Hollowbrook, where children played in sun-dappled streets and neighbors exchanged pleasantries over white picket fences, there existed a sinister secret: the ice cream man. Gregory Tudor, a lanky man with sunken eyes, pushed his colorful ice cream cart through the neighborhood. His jingles echoed eerily, sending shivers down spines. But it wasn't the jingles that terrified the children. It was the ingredients he used. You see, Gregory's ice cream wasn't like any other. It contained more than sugar and cream. He ground secrets into the vanilla, nightmares into the chocolate, and despair into the strawberry swirls. The townsfolk indulged, blissfully unaware of the darkness they consumed. One sweltering summer day, little Tommy begged his mother for a double scoop of Gregory's ice cream. The sun beat down and the air shimmered with heat. Tommy licked the cone, and his eyes widened. He saw glimpses of lost children, faces pale, eyes hollow, trapped in icy sweetness. Tommy vanished that night, leaving only melted chocolate on the pavement. Emily, the music teacher, had a secret. She composed haunting melodies that echoed through her soul. One evening, Gregory handed her a cone. The notes of her symphony swirled within. As she licked, her piano keys turned to bone and her fingers bled ink. Emily played her final composition, a dirge for her own demise. Old Mrs. Jenkins, hunched and lonely, yearned for companionship. Gregory's ice cream promised fulfillment. She tasted the butterscotch ripple, and her wish came true. Her house filled with spectral laughter, but the laughter turned to wails. Mrs. Jenkins danced with ghostly partners until her bones crumbled. Detective Harris suspected Gregory. He followed the ice cream cart to an abandoned factory. There, he discovered the truth. The ice cream man was no ordinary vendor. Gregory was Ricardus, an ancient being who fed on souls. Gregory grinned, revealing teeth like frozen shards. "One last lick, detective?" Harris hesitated, then tasted the midnight blue sorbet. He glimpsed the void, the hungry maw of eternity. The townspeople never found Tommy, Emily, or Mrs. Jenkins, but they still lined up for Gregory's ice cream, drawn by its addictive magic. The cart rolled through Hollowbrook, leaving behind a trail of lost dreams and forgotten lives. And so, if you hear the jingles on a moonless night, beware. The ice cream man awaits, ready to serve chilling delights, one lick closer to oblivion.
In the quiet town of Eldridge, nestled among ancient pine trees, there existed a peculiar ice cream parlor. Its faded sign read Frosty Delights, but the locals knew it as the domain of the enigmatic ice cream man. His real name? Lost to time. Some whispered it was Gregory Tudor, while others believed he had no name at all. Children flocked to Frosty Delights, drawn by the hypnotic jingle of the ice cream truck. The ice cream man, clad in a tattered white uniform, served up scoops of frozen delight with a sinister smile. His eyes, icy blue and devoid of warmth, sent shivers down their spines. But it wasn't the flavors that made Frosty Delights infamous. No, it was the secret menu, the one whispered about in hushed tones. The desperate, the curious, and the foolish would ask for the special. The ice cream man would nod, his grin widening, and disappear into the back. What emerged from that hidden chamber was no ordinary treat. It was a concoction of nightmares, a swirl of darkness and despair. Those who dared to taste it claimed they heard voices, the anguished cries of lost souls trapped within the frozen swirls. Roger, a freckled boy with curious eyes, couldn't resist. He approached the counter one sweltering afternoon, sweat dripping down his temples. "Give me the special," he demanded, unaware of the fate he sealed. The ice cream man obliged, scooping out a jet-black scoop. Roger's tongue touched the frozen abyss, and he gasped. Whispers echoed in his mind, forgotten memories, broken promises, and the chilling certainty that he'd never escape Frosty Delights. Days passed, and Roger vanished. His parents searched, posters plastered on lampposts, but the town remained silent. The other children exchanged knowing glances. They sensed the truth. The ice cream man was no mere vendor. He was a collector of souls. Heather, Roger's best friend, vowed to uncover the truth. She followed the ice cream man one moonless night, her heart pounding. The parlor's back door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit room. Shelves lined with dusty jars held grotesque ingredients, spider legs, moth wings, and something more sinister, the essence of lost innocence. Heather's flashlight illuminated a cage in the corner. Inside, Roger and small Paul, the boy who disappeared before him, huddled together. Their eyes were hollow, their skin ashen. The ice cream man stood over them, chanting ancient verses, binding their souls to his frozen creations. Heather fled, but the whispers followed her. She gathered the other children, Johnny, Tuna, and even Jacob, Roger's older brother. Together, they confronted the ice cream man, wielding courage and desperation. The police scoffed at their claims until they tasted the special. The chief's eyes widened as he glimpsed the abyss within the scoop. "We'll find them," he promised, rallying the force. But the ice cream man was cunning. He vanished, leaving behind an empty parlor and a trail of frost. The children followed, guided by the whispers. Deep into the forest, they discovered the Wishing Well Sanatorium, an abandoned asylum where Gregory Tudor had suffered unspeakable horrors. The final showdown unfolded in the asylum's decaying halls. The ice cream man, now revealed as Gregory, fought to protect his frozen empire. But the children had allies, the ghosts of forgotten patients, their anguish fueling their wrath. In a chilling climax, Heather shattered the well's cursed mirror, releasing the trapped souls. Gregory screamed as they dragged him into the abyss, the same one that swirled within the special. The parlor crumbled, and the children emerged, forever changed. They vowed to protect Eldridge, to ensure no child would taste the ice cream man's malevolence again. And so, Frosty Delights vanished, leaving only a memory, a whisper on the wind, a shiver down the spine. But beware, dear reader, for legends have a way of resurfacing. Somewhere in a forgotten corner of the world, another ice cream truck plays its haunting tune, and the ice cream man awaits.